Good morning, guys. This is Kunal from TradingSim. Wanted to do a trade recap on ticker symbol EXAS. This is a symbol or ticker that we traded on the 15th of June. You can see, kind of looking at this chart on a daily chart here, this ticker has run from 536 up to about almost $10 a share as of the close on the 14th. And this stock popped up on our hot list. It looks like it gapped up again, went to around 11 plus on the open. You can see there was some serious volume coming into this stock yesterday. Big price range, 7 to 10 basically. And what we've done today is we've gapped over a pretty significant resistance area. So this is going to be something that we want to keep an eye on. Can it come back and hold it? At this point, I'm not really going to chase the stock. It's just too extended. It just doesn't make sense. So, this is one of the most difficult parts of trading, is to kind of have the patience to sit through a trade, and that trade may not materialize until two or 3 hours into the trading session. But you have to kind of maintain your discipline, and that's kind of what we had to do here. It was very difficult to hold off. I actually took a couple losses on this before I actually took down the big win. So let me walk you through. We look at a daily chart here. I mean, an intraday chart. So really, that level is still about 6% below. Below where we are today, or at this moment in time. So let me just fast forward the chart a little bit so we can get in. Right, so now what we're doing here is we put a low in here at 10.56. We rallied up to about 11 and a quarter, and we are breaking the lows. This is kind of a intraday breakdown going on here. Nothing that we're going to do anything with, but just something to take a note of. So from our perspective, like I said, we're not going to be touching this until we see what happens down here at this previous breakout at 10. If it holds that area, then we're going to step aside. I'm not really looking to go long this stock. This is more of a fade that I'm looking to take. So at this point, right, we were at 11 and a quarter. We rallied or ripped down to about 10. So it's a decent 10% pullback from the intraday highs. And what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to move it to the 5-minute chart. You can just see it's been straight down. We've even broken the 9 EMA without much of a fight. Let's just move it to 5 minutes per second. So it looks like it's trying to stage some sort of rally here. It's very short-lived. And you can just kind of see, I'm fast forwarding through this pretty quick, but this was at 10:05, 11:15. So there was over an hour's worth of chop that was going on in the stock. So this is where you really want to be careful that you don't get caught up, because if you look at this, 975 to 1020, that's a fairly large range. So you do want to have some sort of confirmation before you take something like this, or make sure you don't put as many shares on, because these volatile stocks can rip your shirt off, especially these cheap volatile stocks that have wide ranges. Regardless, you can see kind of we're failing at the 9 EMA. We're starting to put in what we call, this is clearly a bear flag, right? We had this big move down, and we're just going sideways now. We're not really mounting any sort of rally, and we've kind of given back this daily resistance level that we took out on the open. Not a good sign for this stock. First expectation, if this thing breaks down, is going to be to close this gap right here. and below that, you know, we're looking at about a $9 area, which you have to take my word for it is right around the 200-day moving average on the daily charts. So, you know, so far this thing is trying to hold up, but 975 is going to be a key low. And there we go. Here we did 973. This is where I kind of got caught. I chased this breakdown at 975, and this thing ripped my shirt off here. And I can just show you, basically squeeze some shorts out. High hit 1022, right? It ripped out these highs, but what you'll notice is it did not take out the 1024 high. So this range is still intact on a short-term basis. So let me just go. This is our short-term intraday range here that we're looking at. And so I got burned out of this position. I was stopped out when it went over 1025. You know, this is not one of my best trades here. I got caught up in a bunch of nonsense. I should have killed the position when it broke over the 9 EMA at about 991. But I got stubborn. I held it. I took a good 40-50 cent loss on this position. Now, here's what you really want to know, and we talk about this all the time in our videos, these fake out moves. So we had a high here, 1024. We have an established range here on a bear flag, and we ripped up to about 1033. A lot of traders were looking at this and said, oh, this is going to break out to the upside, and we're going to go back to the highs of the day. If you looked on StockTwits, a lot of guys were calling for these types of moves. Here's what happened. We broke out temporarily for about 30 seconds probably, and this thing failed miserably. So if I go to a 1-minute chart, you're going to see here, I mean, this was just a real quick fake out. And then you look at this wide range bar here with volume. This is important right here. This tells you there's a lot of selling and a lot of resistance up here. And we've now captured, or we've made a lot of people chase right here. And this is a company with almost 300,000 shares of volume. So a lot of people have been trapped. 9 EMA has been broken on the 1-minute chart. And so this is a omen here, a bad omen. And so on the 5-minute chart, we have $10 roughly is going to be support. It's a year 9 EMA, and we're just breaking right through it. No sort of support. So now this is where it's a little bit uncomfortable. We're pretty high off the top. However, we have to look at context, right? This stock has a massive run, and we have this beautiful bear flag forming. We have a fake out, which is great. I love to see those types of moves before I actually get into a short. And now we have this 973 low that if it is taken out, I'm going to take another short attempt. So let's just see what happens here. And so there we go. 973 was broken. So I'm going to take the short at around that level, and I'm going to expect about 940, 942 is going to be my first target. We'll see how it behaves there. So at this point, 9 EMA is now, this is a confirmed breakdown, right? We've broken this pretty good base, and look at what time it was. It was 12:40. Typically, I do not like to trade the lunch hours, so I just want to make that known. But this was a good trade, and I would have probably made I did make an exception for this. So, 12:40, we took the short at around 972, and we have this confirmed downtrend. Volume is looking pretty large here. and we came right down into that support at 935. So I'm going to take a half of this position off right there. So intraday, we're trying to form some sort of base at the previous day's gap, or this morning's gap. But as you can see here, it's coming back down to that 935 area. And it slightly broke it, and it just wants to keep going. So we're going to let it ride as far as it wants to go. We're going to keep an eye on that 9 EMA, which you can see here. You know, we came back up to 966. Imagine the move from 935 to 966. That's almost a 4% rally. Actually, it went up to 972. So, you know, it is a little over 4%. But again, we never broke that 5 EMA. So as a trader here, you could have added to your short position right here. This was about 30 minutes of chop right around the 9. It couldn't hold it. And once it broke around 959, you could have potentially taken a short. So anyways, you could have added to your position now. So we've come down to this 9 level. This is a 200 EMA. I'm going to take, and you can see it's a pretty good support level. I'm going to take another quarter of my position off. So I'm left with only a quarter at this point. Alright, so right there we saw some major volume come into the stock right at the 907 level. So I'm clearing out of this again at 907-ish. I think we cleared out at about 910 on the last quarter piece. So we essentially took out half at 940, took out a quarter at about 9, and we took out another quarter at about 910. And so I hope you can see, this thing was just free fall here from the intraday fake out that we mentioned at 1033. It ripped all the way down to 885. That was another 12% pullback. I hope this trade example helps, and if you have any questions, email us at admin@tradingsim.com. Take our 7-day free trial for TradingSim. You can trade these types of setups or practice trading these types of setups all day long. It's an excellent tool for day traders who are experienced, who are beginners just trying to learn. So give it a try, and